Welcome to the channel. I am very happy and excited for this channel, like I usually am. And I want to say thank you for all the people who've watched my last video for first time vending. I didn't think it would get so many views, and I didn't think it would get so many likes. So I appreciate all the newcomers, all the new subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and like and comment. Tell me what you think. Any advice would be great. But again, thank you to all the people who've kind of just shared your thoughts and comments on the last video. Super appreciate it. Appreciate your time for checking that out. So today I wanted to shoot a video on some of the items I use for vending a show. And it's honestly, from that first video, it's already changed because of all the things that I've kind of already learned, which is crazy, all the things I've already learned. So one of the first things that, as a vendor, you want to make sure you have an item or a device that can look up card prices. So one of the item I use for that is actually my iPad. So on my iPad, I use that. The applications I have installed are actually just my collector app and then my Pokédata app. I also use price charting. I think that's what it's called. Price charting. I also use that to kind of price cards. And so, so I always pull those things up if you ever come to my table. Those are the locations I'm looking at. It's Pokédata, collector, and the price charting app. Those are the three I use, primarily collector and price charting. I also use eBay last sold. I think I've kind of figured out that, at least in my experience, that all the applications aren't as up to date as eBay last sold. Makes sense. And so I do check that sometimes just in case I want to get as accurate as possible for pricing. But those are the apps I use. I use my iPad for that. The reason why I don't use my phone is actually because I use it to record my videos. Let me put this down. I use my iPhone 16 Pro Max to record all my videos, all my buyer POVs, my buyer POVs. And so all the previous videos I've shot are actually shot on my iPhone. And I pretty much honestly, that's it. There's no special camera. There's no special, lens that I use. Maybe I'll buy a lens for my iPhone, which is kind of crazy to be able to do that. But I have all these bigger cameras that I could technically use, but I think one of the goals in vending was I didn't want to travel very bulky. I carry a lot of bags. I don't know why I have so many bags. All the people who know me, I always carry a lot of bags. I carry a lot of bags, and so I like to minimize the amount of bags I carry from one place to another. So I use my iPhone. I feel like it was super compact, very easy to carry around. I'm gonna try to quote this quote, but the quote that I heard recently was that the best camera is the one that you actually carry with you. And so people probably carry their DSLR everywhere. I don't carry my DSLR everywhere. I carry my iPhone. It has a pretty great camera already on it. And so at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, it's all based on if you can see your video and if you can hear your video, right? And so segueing, one of the devices I use for my mic is actually the DJI Mic Mini. I don't have the 2, but I do have the generation 1, which is kind of crazy because literally at the time I bought it, they came out with a new version, which is really dumb, but it still works great. I hope you can hear me great. This works at any show. I feel like as long as people can hear you on the video, it's gonna be good. I personally believe that. So that's what I use. The next thing I actually use is actually the Lexar, I guess you could call it a dock. I'll have the links in the bio, by the way. Lexar, the Lexar docking station, I guess you could call that, that hooks up to my iPhone. I hook my mic, my DJI Mic Mini, and I hook up my SSD into it. And it's super compact, works amazing. Everything right now is actually being used on that specific device. And I'll shoot some videos of it just so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, I actually use that, and it works amazing. I think I think you'll be surprised at how many things have come out technology-wise, tech-wise, for your iPhone that you can use to shoot videos now, like great videos. I actually find it really hard to shoot. I find it hard to shoot bad videos nowadays because everything is just upgraded now. At least for the viewer's point of view, like as long as you can see it, I think it works great. I think, yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna complain. I don't think. So to kind of put all that stuff together, I also use something called a B script. I think that's all it's called. Let me check. Yes, it's called a B script. Yeah, I think it's super compact. Again, it's super compact. It literally turns your iPhone into like it's a cage. It's a camera cage, but for your iPhone, and it literally puts everything together. That way you're just carrying like, it kind of feels like a camera, honestly, if you really think about it. But I just recently got that for the actual last vending show, and I'm gonna start using that for my actual buyer POV at Charlotte Collecticon. So yeah, everything's been shot on that. I've used that on my last, vending show, and then at my buyer POV, I didn't have that yet. But yeah, B script is awesome, works great, makes it more comfortable to hold your iPhone when you're walking around and or panning everywhere. So that's what I use. So to carry my cards around, one of the items I use is actually a Zion case. I use the Slab Case 2R, which I don't think they sell these anymore because they changed their product line a little bit. But yeah, I carry all my slabs in here. Maybe you can see it, I don't know. There should be more in here actually, but I'm kind of repricing everything. Yeah, so I put all my slabs in here, carry it around. I'm thinking about upgrading again because I'm slowly outgrowing this, which is kind of crazy. I never thought I would outgrow this 2-row case. But I do carry this around during buyer POVs as well, when I'm just scanning the floor for myself or for, I don't know, to grade things. And yeah, so I carry that around. I carried all my inventory in there. Currently, all my inventory fits in there. And so that's what I use. Another Zion case or product I use is actually the Zion display cases. I use the horizontal one. I see a lot of people use verticals, which I don't know. I guess to me, I wasn't a big fan of that. Not that I ever used it, but I decided to go the horizontal one. I felt like it just made sense to me that way. And so I have one actually I had one at the vendor show, my first vendor show, but ever since then I bought my second one. And the reason why is because I hated using that thing. If you see in the back over there, I hated using that thing to open and show cards, reclose and show cards. It was just very annoying. I like to create a good, buyer experience when you come to my booth. And so I just felt like I'm just gonna invest in the Zion display cases. Yeah, I've never been a person to buy something and then upgrade to something else, because I felt like if you really already want that item, just save your pennies for it and just get it, right? That way you're not doing this thing where you're upgrading. Again, people do that, totally fine. That's just not been me. I've always just been, hey, if you like that thing and you know it's gonna work for you really well, get it, right? That's been my philosophy. Don't take my philosophy if you don't like it. Do whatever you want, kind of deal. But I do use those cases. Those are a little bit more expensive cases, but I feel like coming to my booth, I want to create a good experience, and so I felt like those cases would do that for me. Again, that's just my opinion. If you have anything else that you would rather use, do it, I guess, side note to all the things I haven't just said, do something or get things or do something that is gonna get you to vending sooner, right? If that's your goal, if you wanna vend, yeah, whatever it takes for you to get there sooner, do it, right? If you say that this case is too expensive, go buy a cheaper one so you can start quicker, right? I think that's the best thing you should do, right? Don't take my words for gospel. I'm only just figuring it out myself. I'm just telling you what I use. But yeah, my encouragement to anybody who's planning on starting, side note, is that get there, do anything you can to get there as soon as you can. You know what I mean? If you really want to do it, do that. Let me think. The next item I use is a book bag that I actually got from a PSA subscription. It doesn't matter what kind of book bag you use. I just use it because it has PSA on it. I'll show you. This is the book bag I use. I have all my stuff in there, a bunch of the stickers and products in here. I've changed a lot of things since my last vending show, but I do use this to carry a lot of my items, like my notebooks and my first POV. Oh, for my first vending show, I used it for my Zion case to carry my cards. So I put the actual metal case in here, so I didn't have to use my hands for anything else. So yeah, that's what I use for that. I used to carry all those things. I carry all my my binders in there. Currently, I'm only using one binder, and so I carry all my binders in there so I could carry them in one trip. I like to make one trips just make it quicker. It makes it seem like you're not doing that much more work. You know what I mean? That's just me. Anyways, binders. Let's talk about binders. So the binder I actually use is actually this Vault X binder. I'm sure you've seen this around. Everybody uses these nowadays. I price all my cards and I put them in here. Yeah, I just use this. I mean, it works fine to me. Does everything I need it to do. Nothing crazy. Yeah, and honestly, I sleeve all my cards in there, so you should always sleeve your cards. Yeah. Another product I use is actually a brand called Grade Saver Pro. They're semi-rigid, and I use them. I use the sleeves that you could buy for them. It's like a pull tab. I use that. I don't know if they're actually still in business, but I still buy their product and they've still shipped it to me. So I'm assuming they're still running. I don't see any social media posts or anything from them. So they're still operating because they're still sending me product. So when I buy that, but I'll show you what they look like. So here's one of the products so this is the Grade Saver Pros, right? So again, my goal is to have a good experience when you come to my show or my vendor table. And so I hate going to tables and their cards are really hard to pull out. I just feel bad because I don't want to damage their cards. And I'm always asking, like, can I pull the card out or not? And they say, yeah, but I'm like struggling to pull the penny sleeve out, right? So I do try to make it easier at my booth so that people don't have to struggle to pull cards out and look at the condition, right? Yeah, because I think that's such an important thing. And I would hate for people to just struggle to get to that point, right? I like to admit that if it's too hard for me to pull a card out, I usually just don't. I give up and I just don't pull it out. I'm like, all right, I'm just not gonna look at the condition. But yeah, so they have the pull tab right here. It's really cool, and then you just pull the card out. It's really easy. You look at the card, oh man, this card looks great, right? And then if you don't like it, then you just stick it back in, very easy. Just not bend the card, you just stick it back in, and then there you go, you give it back to me. It's very easy, very good experience. I like to say, people have liked it at the first show, and I think I'm gonna continue doing that. So all my cards are like single cards like this. I typically just put them in these cases, and I think it served a pretty good experience for people. At least that's what I kind of gathered for that. So yeah, I think that's it. I think those are the big products I use. I don't have anything crazy. One last thing, actually, I recently got, so my first vendor video, if you see like the first 3 seconds of the video, you'll see me carrying actually my display cases on my side. And it's because I didn't have a wagon, and I regret it so much. Get a wagon. That's like the number one thing you should get as a vendor. Get some sort of wagon or trolley or whatever you want to call it. That way you're not carrying like 30 things in your arms and you're like walking miles just carrying that from your car to the table and back and forth. It just makes it tougher on you. So I do have one. I just recently bought one. I'm gonna wheel it over here, but I don't think you can see it, but I'll show like some videos of it. But it's called the BioMoba. I don't know the brand. I thought it looked cool, and it could hold up to like 180 pounds or something like that. I don't think I'm ever gonna exceed that, but I thought it would be a good investment because if I'm gonna wheel all this stuff around, well, if it ever exceeds that, or at least it could hold up a lot of weight. And so I don't think all my stuff ever gets to that point. I don't think, at least as of right now. But it fits, and I think it works for what it does. I also invested in it because, well, hypothetically, if my wife and I decide to go to the beach or whatever, we could take it with us and put our picnic stuff or beach stuff on there and take it to the beach, and it'll be easier to carry. Anyways, that's a side note. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Kind of a lot of things. Hopefully that helps people. I did put all the links again in my description. Some of them are affiliate. If they go to Amazon, they're affiliate links, and all the other ones are not affiliate links. But if you want to click them and buy, I do make a commission off of them. But if you want to find it somewhere cheaper, totally fine, do it, right? I'm all for finding it cheaper. That's pretty much what I use. So hopefully this helps you out if you're looking for some sort of advice on that, what people use, and yeah, in the vending industry, I guess, or at least in the trading card industry. That's what I use, and I feel like as of right now, after one show, it's worked great. I don't know, maybe it changes. Maybe this is kind of a documentary of me upgrading eventually, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, so thanks for joining me. If you haven't seen my first vending video, it's gonna be somewhere right here eventually, and you can click on it and go there. Check it out, give me a like, give me a comment, tell me how I did. Tell me if I didn't do so great, which is totally fine. A lot of people told me I walk around too much or sway side to side too much. I'll try to cut down on that. No promises though. But yeah, go check out that video. Give me a like or subscribe or comment and tell me what you think. You know, if you have any recommendations for gear, let me know. We'd love to check it out. And yeah, I just want to help people get there quicker. And so instead of struggling to find equipment or things that you're struggling to make decisions on, this is what I use. And hopefully you know, maybe you just buy one of these items, totally fine. Tell me what you think about it. Yeah, and yeah, just let me know. Cool. All right, well, I will see you next week because I'm gonna be uploading another vendor POV very soon. And I'm also gonna be I'm also gonna be sharing a video of all my inventory for Winston-Salem before I go. And so if you're in town and if you're around, come check me out. I'm 21 Trading Company, or the 21 Trading Co. And if you want to come check me out, that would be awesome. And let me know that this video brought you there, I guess. Cool. All right, thanks guys. See ya.